Okay. Do you
Wait
need
till that hits the paper. No, let's get started.
Okay. Well, this last one, we're finally here. And Jane has asked me to present your budget, so we will do that. Audit, finance, general expenses, and debt service. Okay, first I'll start with the Board of County Commissioners. There is not a lot of change on here. The salary increases have been included, of course. We're showing about $100 increase in mileage and travel, and $100 in mileage and $400 increase in travel. I believe that Jane was wanting to make sure that there was enough included in there with the new commissioner if there was additional travel that might be required for that position. The only other thing is the copier lease has been moved from contractual services down to equipment leases. I'm trying to make sure those are all accounted for uniformly across the county. Anyway, other than that, all the other items pretty much stayed the same. So I don't know if there's any questions, but that's pretty much as it is.
Any questions about us?
No.
All right.
Okay. The next, and this is mainly for the general public, and I guess for our new commissioner. What I did was I took our mission and our vision and just kind of put them into bullet points, rather than standing up here and reading it. And it's basically to provide financial stability to the county under the direction of the Board of County Commissioners, sound financial management in responsible, cost-effective, professional manner, following GAAP and governmental accounting best practices, provide accurate, meaningful, timely financial statements, provide internal auditing for the county, work with all county departments for fiscal responsibility through the most cost-effective use of county funds, and work with all county departments for meaningful and accurate reporting. And to go over just our duties, we audit payment vouchers, deposits, and payroll, administer the county purchasing policy, including RFPs, large dollar purchases, and contracts. We make sure that the purchases comply with the contracts. We work with departments on report needs, and this is one of the things that I think is really important for us to do, is we try to work with the departments to make sure they have the reports they need so that they can manage their department better. That is really one of our, they are one of our customers. I figure we have 3 sets of customers. We have the taxpayers, we have the commissioners, and then we have the departments. And so I think this is one of the ways we can work with the departments. We reconcile the job ledgers and the funds. We do internal auditing of departments, processes, and the grants, and we also, including surprise cash counts. We do, we look at internal controls, and where we think they're lacking, we try to work with them to improve those internal controls. We do prepare the monthly financial reports to the board, make recommendations to the commission on on financial issues, monitor adherence to the budget, investigate all hotline complaints, coordinate the annual audit, coordinate the budget, facilitate the compilation and approval of the capital improvement plan, and work with bond counsel and investment bankers on the issuance of debt. I mean, that includes not only the interest rates, the terms, the timing, all of that. And then provide the public with information. And, some of the things we do on that, for the budget, we put a budget and a glance out there. We have financial reports we present out there. We put the CIP online out there, those types of things. So going into our budget, there again, it's about the same. As you can see, most of our budget is salaries. We've included all the salary increases. I did increase contractual services by $2,000. Our CIP software that we're getting now is $2,400. I also increased licenses a little bit. Andrea in our office got her CPA, so I included another CPA license for that. So anyway, our budget is within a flat budget amount, so pretty straightforward there. Any questions?
Questions for Betty?
There, a slide back.
Yes.
There was something that caught my eye, something,
Oh, sorry, I should have stopped
investigate
there.
all hotline complaint. We have a hotline for,
Yes, yes, we do have.
Yep,
We
did
have
not know that.
some people call it the fraud hotline, but you can report anything on there, whether it's, employees can use it, the public can use it. It is with a third party, so it doesn't come into the county itself, it goes to a third party, but our internal auditor is the one that gets those complaints through the third party. It can be anonymous. It can also, they can leave contact information if they want to stay anonymous to the county, but they want our third party to be able to contact them, they can do that. Or they can make it public, or make it available to the county, however they want. But sometimes it's a payroll issue, sometimes it's a complaint. A lot of them, we seem to get more complaints of a personnel nature than anything else. But there's also been any type of complaint we receive, we investigate. And that starts with Andrea, our internal auditor, and then she will include any other departments that need to be, including legal if needed.
We get an annual report, and it goes back historically for all complaints that have never been made. So you might check with Andrea to see if she can make sure, if you haven't
Yeah.
gotten that email, to get that email. We get so many emails, I know it's easy to
And I think
miss.
she's about due for another report,
Update.
too. She makes a report to the commission periodically, and I think we're probably about due for that, too. We'll check with her and see what her schedule is on that.
okay, thank you.
Anything else on here?
No,
Okay.
that was my
Okay.
one question.
Okay, general expenses, and this one is one I go through, I look at the 18 actual, I look what 19 is doing. I try to look where we've over budgeted and we can cut a little bit. So there's certain areas I've been able to do that. Other areas, the areas that's hardest are the utilities, trying to estimate what the utilities are going to be. General expenses pays all the utilities for the courthouse and the North Annex. Each building that a department has, like the elections office or Parks and Rec, they pay their own utilities, and so they have a vested interest in, being conservative with their utilities and things like that. But that's one of the hardest areas, is trying to guess what that will be. Most of the postage for the county, especially for the tax statements and all that, all runs through general expenses. The grand jury runs through general expenses. Other than that, I'm showing it going up a little bit from last year. I'm showing it going up 11,000 from last year. But that is really under the 1% that I'm using for a flat budget. So trying to keep that as low as possible, but still within a reasonable amount. So, if you have any questions on those specific items or any line items, I can try to answer them.
Questions?
Insurance is also another one that's kind of hard to predict sometimes, how much insurance. This is property insurance, how much that's going to go up.
Okay.
Okay. Then we have capital outlay and contingency. What we have done the last 2 years is $2 million for capital outlay and $1 million for contingency. That's what I have put into the budget for next year. That can always be changed by you. I think at some point in time, I don't know if we can do it in 2020 or not, but I do think we're going to have to increase capital outlay. I think but by the looks of the needs, and especially this 5-year CIP is really showing that, I think.
It's an eye-opener.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to look at increasing that in the future.
Where do we stand for contingency at this point?
I believe we've spent 200,000? About 215, I think, is what we spent year-to-date.
Okay.
The gamble on it, though, is Department of Corrections and their health costs.
Yes.
Yeah.
It only takes a couple of inmates to blow
Yeah, that's
through
true.
their
Yes.
budget.
That's true.
And so, I mean, we've done well in our contingencies in that we haven't had, knock on wood, the contingencies happen. But that's the one that probably scares me the most out of everything, is those unanticipated inmate costs.
Right.
I can send an updated spreadsheet of contingency where we are now.
Okay, good deal. Thank you.
And then the last is debt service. This just shows the prior years, and you'll see that it shows debt service went down this year, but what you'll also remember is that the 911 funds are paying less of that of their portion of the debt service, and that's why we're showing this going down, but yet we're not really feeling the benefit of it. So, any questions? Oh, and then I also just had that same chart that I had shown before. You know, and it does show that in 2023, our debt service goes down, and then 2024 even more.
Okay.
Any questions?
See none?
Okay.
All right.
We're
Betty,
done.
thank you. Thank you so much for this process, for starting the CIP that we badly needed, and job well done.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're officially adjourned.
Hey, Betty? We haven't set our agenda for Monday. You know, Bob Perry, do you think it's possible that we might have him come in on Monday or Thursday and talk about our refinancing in the
Okay.
Moody's report and our latest rating, so we can talk about
Okay.
our reserves
Sure.
and how reserves affect our Moody's rating?
Okay.
Just as a thought, 'cause, I mean, that's come up now a couple of